And you don't even know who
Damian
Welcome to
Murphy is.
Is that correct?
We're going to be
Never seen him in
going
my
through
life.
this
Did
together.
he say
It's a code
Damian
reaction.
Murphy? Why can't this attorney get his client's name right? I'm not a lawyer, but let's get into day 2 of the Foolio trial. And more specifically, it's Florida versus Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Rashad Murphy, and Davion Murphy. Now, quick reminder before we get into it, Foolio was not the only victim from this shooting. While he is the only person who lost his life, 3 other people were also shot, and there could have been even more because as police were on scene collecting evidence, they discovered 31 shell casings and bullet defects in people's cars and in their hotel rooms. One lady who was staying at the hotel that weekend with her family testified about what she experienced.
We were moving my daughter into the dorms at University of South Florida for her first semester of college. We were sound asleep around 4:30 in the morning. I heard popping noises. By the time I realized what it was, thinking it was maybe gunshots, Braden, who was in the bed on the other side of us, pulled me down to the ground and shielded me. Right at the same time, my husband went and looked out the window, saw there was a bullet that hit the window, so he yelled for us to get down. That was the bullet that hit our window. And then, I don't know if you can see it there, but there was some like bullet fragments on top of the AC unit.
From there, jurors began hearing from 2 of the 3 people who were shot that night but survived. And for context, the 3 people who were shot and survived are Xavier Edwards, also known as Zay, Gino Norris, and a woman named Camilla Bentley. Xavier and Gino were both in Foolio's car with him, and Camilla Bentley was in the black Nissan. So the first to testify was Gino Norris. He had known Foolio since he was 14, and although the 2 of them were not blood related, Norris referred to Foolio as his cousin. Norris testified that he came to Tampa to celebrate Foolio's weekend, and after leaving the second club and heading to the hotel, he fell asleep in the car, and he woke up to what he thought was a car accident.
The car had hit something and they had woke me up, and then I looked up, saw the holes in the window. I saw Jose covered in blood.
Well, let me ask you. Is Mr. Jones, does he appear to you, what shape or condition does he appear to be in?
Like he gone.
He's gone? At that point, having seen the bullet holes through the windshield, did you have any idea where the people that had done that, where they were?
I pray for his family.
No, that's why we had ended up getting out the car.
And did you go into the main entrance of the hotel?
Yeah. We were screaming out for help.
Just screaming for help?
Yeah.
Did anyone respond or help?
No, sir. I said we had ended up getting on the elevator to go to the 3rd
Girl
floor.
got a 15-piece.
I don't know if they would have followed us there or not, so we just went on the 3rd floor.
Okay. At that point, what kind of condition is Xavier in?
He ended up falling against the wall. Like he felt like he finna die. He kept begging me not to let him die.
He was begging you not to let him die?
Yeah. He told me to check his head and make sure he didn't get hit in his head because he was bleeding a lot from his head. And when I looked down, I saw a hole in my arm.
Where were you shot?
My right arm.
Your right arm? What part of your right arm?
Not the upper.
The upper part?
Yeah.
Being that you were asleep during the shooting itself, did you ever see the people who were doing the shooting?
No, sir.
And then it was time for cross of Gino. And you'll start to notice a recurring theme with some of the cross-examinations. And that is just how many people had never heard of these defendants before this incident.
Mr. Morris, you don't know Sean Gathright, correct?
No.
In fact, before he was arrested in connection with this case, you'd never even heard that name, right?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Norris, you don't know Rashad Murphy, do you?
No.
Thank you.
Would you agree with me that you don't know or you don't have any idea who was responsible for killing Charles Jones?
No, man, I don't know.
And you would also agree with me there's a lot of different groups and a lot of different people that did not like Charles Jones, your cousin.
Yes, a lot of people didn't like him.
A lot of people don't like or didn't like your cousin Charles Jones because of his music, the content of his music.
They shouldn't be bringing that shit up, really.
Correct?
Yes, you can say that.
But I guess it's true.
Now, you don't know who Davion Murphy is, do you?
No, ma'am.
And you don't know who Rashad Murphy is, do you?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
It is worth noting that Gino said he is familiar with Isaiah Chance and recalled interacting with Isaiah on social media, as well as passing him in the parking lot of a nightclub one time. Moving on to testimony from the second gunshot victim, whose name again is Camilla Bentley, and she testified that she had come to town with her friend Aaliyah Albritton and a man named Taifa McCrae. Taifa was cousins with Foolio, and so they followed behind his car all night. Camilla said that when she, Aaliyah, and Taifa pulled up at the hotel, Taifa and Aaliyah get out to go use the bathroom, leaving Camilla in the car by herself.
I took initiative and got in the front seat of the car.
So now you're sitting in the front seat.
Yes. I was on my phone for a second, and when I looked back up, that's when I just started seeing bullets flying past my face, and that's when everybody started shooting and all that. I couldn't find the keys,
So,
and
it
I prayed
looks
until I could find
horrible
the
for
keys,
them.
and the car cut on.
They're cooked.
I still didn't see any keys.
And
till
this
that very
only day two.
But the car was able to start.
The car was able to start, and I tried to make it out as soon as I could. I remember stopping at a light, and that's when I realized, like, that's when I got shot. That's when I tried to just calm down and realize my adrenaline was up there, and I had to realize, like, just calm down. Like, I called Aaliyah, told her, hey, I just got shot, and I need you to take me to the hospital. I got grazed and a gunshot wound in my right arm.
Were they able to remove all of the bullet?
I don't have any
Innocent
bullets removed out
person.
of my arm.
They're still there, is that correct?
Yes.
And is this the black Nissan that you have been testifying to, that you were in and that you were in the back seat?
Yes.
Okay. And is this what is occurring when you said they went to the restroom?
Yes.
The only reason that you were with that group and at that hotel is because of Aaliyah Albritton, is that correct?
Yes.
Sean Gathrights attorney does some cross.
Ms. Bentley, you did not know anyone named Sean Gathright, correct?
I know who that is.
Right, and you never even had heard that name until you heard he was arrested in connection with this, correct?
Yes.
And then the next witness is Camilla's friend that went to the bathroom, Aaliyah Albritton.
I went to his bathroom.
Did anyone go with you?
Taifa.
And was Camilla Bentley, she left alone in the car?
Yeah.
Right. What happened when you were using the restroom?
I heard stuff outside, like boom sounds. I went by the front desk in the hotel.
Could you see whether or not your friend Camilla Bentley and Taifa McCrae's car was still out there?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was gone?
Mm-hmm.
And what about all the other cars?
All the cars were gone.
After Camilla tells Aaliyah that she had been shot, Camilla drove herself back to the hotel and Aaliyah and Taifa drive her to the hospital. But Aaliyah says she didn't stay at the hospital with her friend because technically she wasn't supposed to be there.
Because I was on probation, I wasn't supposed to be there.
So did you leave in Taifa McCrae's car?
Yeah.
Did Mr. McCrae, did he stay there with Aaliyah, your friend, while she was getting treatment?
Camilla, but yeah, he did.
I'm sorry, Camilla Bentley, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you take the car?
To some apartments. I don't really know what they're called. I don't even know where they're at.
From there, prosecutors begin asking Aaliyah about her connection to both sides of this gang war. Now, if you watched the Alicia Andrews trial, you may remember this coming up because during cross-examination, Alicia's attorney revealed that back in 2018, Aaliyah was dating 18-year-old Trayvon Bulliard, who was the younger brother of Keontae Bulliard, aka Young and Ace. And Young and Ace, of course, is the face of Foolio's rival gang, ATK. And interestingly enough, Aaliyah was actually dating Trayvon when he was killed in a shooting related to this gang war. And now 6 years later, Aaliyah happens to be hanging out with Julio Foolio when he gets killed, presumably also related to this gang war. Now, in Alicia's trial, the defense was the one to bring this up. But in this trial, prosecutors seem to be addressing it head on.
Now, I know that you said that you knew Charles Jones, but you were not friends with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
But you were familiar with all of the drill rap that he had done. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were also familiar with kind of the rival group, Young and Ace. Is that correct?
Yeah.
In fact, you knew Kenyatta Bullard. Is that correct?
Keontae, yes.
Keontae Bullard. Thank you for correcting me. And he is known as Young and Ace.
Yeah.
Did you date his younger brother?
Yes.
And what was his name?
Trayvon.
And when did that occur?
2018.
So quite a while before. Is that all of this?
Yeah.
And so you know people on both sides. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now on cross, Rashad Murphy's attorney, whose name is Brian Gonzalez, clears up that Aaliyah wasn't just hanging out with Taifa that weekend. She actually had a romantic relationship with him.
And Mr. McCray, Tata, right? That's his name, Tata? I'm an old man, but when you have some type of relationship with someone, do you call it talking? When you're talking with someone?
Yeah, you can call it that.
And just so we're clear, when you called Mr. McCray your friend, he was a little bit more than a friend, like someone you would just hang out and go get a drink with or be a friend from school, correct? Can we both agree in that respect?
I guess.
Well, let me ask you, if you don't mind, were you more than just friends with Mr. McCray?
Do I have to answer that?
Well, yes. So was it more than just a platonic
I guess,
friendship?
yes.
Tata is 6 block, correct?
I guess. I guess.
Well, you know enough about this to know. Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you had also dated, as you stated to the state in your direct examination, Quan in the past, some years ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew
Names.
both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people in 6 block knew that you used to date somebody from another opposition group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They all knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Said it, yes.
Yes, they do.
And that wasn't an issue, or else you wouldn't have been there, correct?
No, it wasn't an issue.
No one gave you any problem over that, correct?
No.
You don't know Rashad Murphy, do you?
No, I don't know.
Thank you.
And then there's some cross from Davion Murphy's attorney as well as Sean Gathwright's attorney.
Do you know a Davion Murphy?
No.
Thank you. No further questions, sir.
Okay.
Do you know Mr. Gathright?
No.
Before this incident, we'll say, have you ever heard that name before?
No, never seen him before.
Okay, and you did testify a few minutes ago that you're familiar with people that associate with 6 block and opposition groups, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Sean Gathright was not known to you in either of those situations?
No, I don't know.
That's the last time.
Are y'all keeping up with all this?
Smell of a woman.
As has been made clear, prosecutors believe Foolio's death was the result of an ongoing gang war between 6 block and ATK, in which people on both sides have been murdered. And while the defendants in this case have never been charged with any of those other murders or shootings, the prosecutors clearly believe they're all connected. And so, before this trial started, the judge ruled that prosecutors are allowed to tell jurors about 6 of the shootings that they believe are connected to this gang war. The judge agreed that those 6 incidents are relevant and give historical context to the back and forth between the two sides and feeds directly into the alleged motive in this case. So, the 6 incidents are the 2018 shooting of 19-year-old Joe Rod Adams, and he was on the ATK side. The 2019 killing of 17-year-old Adrian Bibby Gaynor, and he was on the 6 block side. Then the 2023 killing of Jaquan Jake Jit Pickens, who was on the 6 block side. And then the day after Pickens was killed, there was an attempt on Jacoby Bills, who was on the ATK/1200 side. And then on October 6, 2023, 18-year-old Antonio Tilley was killed, and he's on the ATK side. And the day after Tilley's death, there was an attempt on Julio Foolio's life, but he survived. So those are the 6 incidents the judge has ruled prosecutors can talk about because it feeds directly into the motive for this case. And so to kick off talking about those shooting incidents, the prosecutors called the lead investigator from Adrian Bibby Gaynor's murder to talk about what happened in that case and who got charged.
The victim was
and all this killing for
and
what?
How old was he? Do you remember?
17. I learned later on, probably after we arrived on scene, shortly after, he had a nickname of Bibby.
You know,
and
you're
is this
gonna come
one of
after
the
him,
cases
but
where
still,
there was suspected gang activity?
Yes.
This shit ran deep.
How was Adrian Gaynor, how was he killed?
He was shot.
Still probably not
And
ever.
there has
It'll
been
never
a
end.
recent plea that occurred in this case, is that correct?
That's correct.
And who pled to the murder of Adrian Garner, known as Bibby?
Hakeem Robinson.
And is that something that happened recently?
Yes, within the last couple months.
Okay, more context. But if you watched the trial that I covered of the dad who testified against his son,
who is the person that was captured on the video recording shooting Charles McCormick?
My son.
What's your son's name?
Hakeem.
the son, Hakeem Robinson, was ultimately sentenced to life in prison in that case. And then 4 months later, in February of 2026, Hakeem pled guilty to killing 17-year-old Adrian Bibby Gaynor. So that's what this detective is talking about. And Hakeem was just sentenced to 10 years in prison for that case. And he is heavily associated with ATK, while Bibby Gaynor was associated with 6 Block. You got it? And then it was time for a cross-examination. And as with the previous witnesses, Rashad Murphy's attorney and Sean Gathwright's attorney have a very clear question.
Detective Oliver, you've never heard of Rashad Murphy, correct?
That's correct.
All your years working in the sheriff's office, you've never heard the name Sean Gathwright, correct?
Never.
That's all I have. Thank you.
But then it was time for Davion Murphy's attorney to do cross. And child, just watch.
And did I understand you to just say that not you, but the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or someone in Jacksonville just arrested Joaquin Robinson for that homicide?
No, you're not understanding that. We did not just arrest him. He just took a plea on it.
Oh, you took a plea on it?
I didn't take one. He did.
Okay, yeah. But someone at the state attorney's office. Was that Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. And so that the record is clear, none of these gentlemen here have anything to do with the homicide of Bibby, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And you don't even know who Davion Murphy is that correct?
Never seen him in my life.
We went from Davion Smith to now Damian Murphy. Sir, you told the jurors not to get your client confused, but it seems you're the one confusing them. Now on to the last and final witness of the day, and that was Detective Richard Nieder. Nieder specializes in investigating ATK specifically, and he's called to the stand to break down the music videos and the lyrics in both ATK's drill songs and Julio Foolio's drill song. But before he testifies, Rashad Murphy's attorney has an objection. Because remember those 6 incidents I just told you about? Well, because these songs refer to more than just those 6 incidents, prosecutors want Nieder to be able to give some more context on the other incidents. And the defense is like, now wait a minute, wasn't the whole point of the ruling that when it comes to motive, the prosecutors can only talk about the 6 incidents the judge agreed to?
I don't believe that was the court's intention, is to allow Jacksonville gang officers to identify other victims of crimes that are historically related to gang violence, and whose names are within those videos. And I'm presuming the state is going to be asking the detectives in this particular case today, Detective Nieder, about who those people are and what happened to them. That's not what you intended, nor that's what you ordered. Now, I certainly could be wrong.
I thought I seen
and
that
then
shit
some, because we have the 6
away.
prior incidents
But it never
that we ruled would be admissible. During these videos, are there other incidents or other victims that are not part of the 6 previous incidents that I've said are admissible?
There are other victims mentioned in the music videos that we would be inquiring with the detectives about. Those persons that are mentioned are relevant. So they're relevant both to the gang history, but also to later evidence in the case. My intention was to not go into depth with the relevance of that until the gang detectives were testifying about how that would have related to the specific defendants and their gang enhancement.
And can you identify specifically what the references are per video?
So, for example, there is reference to, in Mr. Charles Jones' video, When I See You, Suge, and Suge being shot off of his bicycle. For today only, though, we will be asking who is Suge and what does it mean to say shot Suge off of his bike. And the detective would, I presume, respond, this is an individual that was killed in Jacksonville as a part of the war.
Judge, I do have all of the people that are listed, and there's a dozen in one. There's 6 or 7 or 8. I can name them all in each video that the state intends to, to introduce, plus the ones that will be introduced later that have the same potential issues. But I think it exceeds what I understood the court's ruling to be by a large margin.
Right.
And what's going to happen is that there's no way that this jury can't have a takeaway much more expansive than what I believe the court's ruling is.
After hearing both sides, the judge rules that since drill songs are all about dissing your rival and dissing people that have died, she agrees that Detective Nieder can give context to an additional 2 victims that are mentioned in the lyrics. Now, Nieder won't be able to give as much detail as he can for the 6 cases, but he can talk about who an additional 2 victims were and the context of how they were killed. Because according to the judge, him talking about that will only further help the jurors understand the nature of drill songs. And so with that, Detective Nieder is called to the stand to talk about the 3 most significant music videos in this gang war, starting with the first video, Who I Smoke.
This is probably one of the most successful videos from out of ATK and 1200, a joint venture between the two.
Yes.
Are Spinna-Benz and Wappa with the Choppa affiliated to a gang?
They're 1200.
And is Young and Ace the individual that we previously spoke about, Mr. Bullard, the most prominent person in ATK?
Yes.
What is typically the content or the purpose of a drill rap video?
To be disrespectful towards the opposing group.
Oftentimes when you are reviewing these music videos, is the disrespect directed towards fallen members or ops that have died?
Generally, sometimes they'll speak about the ones who got shot and lived.
There was a line depicting, I was smoking Trey D2. Did you understand there to be any relevance or significance to that line?
Smoking somebody means like you killed them or like they're dead. You roll them up in a joint and smoke them.
And is Trey D someone who is affiliated to a specific gang in Jacksonville?
Yes, 6 block.
And is Trey D someone who was killed in the rivalry?
Yes.
In this song, there is a line referring to Houston. Is that the actual city or an individual?
That's the city.
What is it that you know about Houston that was relevant in your review of this particular video?
They're speaking about the attempted murder on Charles Jones that happened in Houston. He went live from a hospital bed, basically trolling them, saying they didn't get the job done.
I want to ask you specifically about 2 homicides which occurred in 2018 and 2019. Are you familiar with the homicide of Joe Rod Adams, a.k.a. Spaz, and Adrian Gaynor, a.k.a. Bibby?
Yes, ma'am.
To what group is Spaz or Joe Rod Adams affiliated or was affiliated?
Out East 1200.
And was Mr. Adams ultimately killed?
It was at Raines High School football game. He was shot and killed at the game. Robert Howard, who goes by Kenny Caps, who is a 6 block member, was charged with and arrested for manslaughter and was sentenced to 5 years in that case.
Ultimately, afterward, was there also a homicide of Mr. Gaynor?
Yes.
After going through Who I Smoke, Detective Nieder then starts breaking down Foolio song, When I See You.
Is it common in these music videos for the rappers to diss the other gangs by using the other gangs' hand signs?
Yes. Whenever they use another group's hand sign, they'll face it down. That's where the disrespect comes in, is when you put it down. He's making like a finger gun like he's shooting 1200.
Is this common or uncommon to see in these drill rap videos?
It's pretty common.
And speaking specifically about the references made by Mr. Jones, is there a case that's commonly referred to as the Town Center shooting that Jacksonville Sheriff's Office investigated?
Yes.
Is that what Mr. Jones is referencing in this poster here that's observed on the screen?
Yes, that's the 3 victims, the 3 deceased victims of that case.
And is that by nickname Quan 23 and 4?
Yes.
Was there also another individual present with those 3 when that shooting occurred?
Young and Ace.
Is Young and Ace the only individual who survived that shooting?
Yes.
And then were there several references to an individual named Shug in this When I See You video?
Yes.
And what gang was he affiliated to or associated with?
1200.
And there was some significance to Shug and his bike being taken. Is that relevant to some kind of investigation in the death of Shug?
Yes.
Specifically as it relates to August 16th and 17th of 2023, was there a shooting offense that occurred in Jacksonville which involved a victim by the name of Jaquan Pickens?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Pickens go by the name Jake Jitt?
Yes. It was early in the afternoon on I-95. Interstate runs through Jacksonville. Mr. Pickens was northbound, coming over one of the rivers. A car pulled up beside him, an unknown make, model, and color. Shots came from the car, struck Mr. Pickens. Mr. Pickens crashed into a broke-down semi, and that's where he was found deceased. His cause of death was gunfire.
When the next day then arrives, is a 1,200 member shot.
Yeah, Jacoby Bills, who goes by Lacoby.
Did Lacoby survive that shooting?
He did.
And where did that shooting occur?
It occurred at a park, I think it was a Pop Warner or some sort of youth football league practice.
But he survived
That's
that
crazy.
shooting itself.
Yes, he did.
And is it common, at least now, really in 2020 and beyond, I guess, to see the rival gangs take responsibility for offenses that have occurred?
Yeah, they will take responsibility, and they will also like troll. They might not say like they did it, but they'll like make fun of his death. I remember briefly about Jaquan Pickens. They were posting like chicken nuggets, like making fun of him, calling him chicken nugget.
On October 6th of 2023, was there a homicide of an individual by the name of Antonio Tilley?
Yes, Antonio Tilley was messaging a female on social media. They agreed to meet up. As Antonio Tilley pulls into the residence where they were alleged to meet up, he was ambushed.
So Mr. Tilley did not survive that shooting.
He did not.
And the shooting occurs in the late night hours of October 6th, is that right?
Yes.
And when you were on the scene of Mr. Tilley's homicide or investigating that, did you receive a call to respond to an attempted murder of an individual by the name of Charles Jones?
Yes. It was early in the morning. A car backs in on an abandoned residence near Mr. Jones, where he was at that night or that morning. As Mr. Jones backs his black Charger out of the driveway, he starts driving down the road. Two individuals get out of this vehicle back into the abandoned driveway and open fire on Mr. Jones's Charger. Mr. Jones fled down the road a little bit and then exited his vehicle and ran to a neighboring residence for help.
And then Nieder goes over the third song in this trilogy, which is Do It by Young and Ace, and it was released the day Julio Foolio was killed.
I would say like the ending of the war would be probably the death of Charles Jones.
Is this a still from the music video Do It, posted by Young and Ace on June 23rd of 2024?
It is.
And to your knowledge and based on your involvement in this case, was Charles Jones killed around 4:40 a.m. on June 23rd of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it apparent that it had been recorded on a date in advance of June 23rd of 2024?
Yeah, that's what I would, based on the scene of the music video with it being nighttime and stuff like that. I don't see where he would have had time to record it at night and release it the same day.
Did you have an opportunity to look at the lyrics of the music video called Do It, posted by Young and Ace?
I did.
Go into the park, take a picture. Do you see that line there?
I do. Yeah, they went, so Melvin Park is on our city's west side of Jacksonville. It's often where ATK claims their territory. Melvin Park was the general area they hung out. Charles Jones went there and took a picture with the park sign. They wrote on it, and they did a music video inside of Melvin Park.
And I told them do it, and reading the rest of the contents in context, all this money, make an N-word, do it. Is that saying or providing anything for you in the context of this song?
Yeah, he's saying that all of the money he's got will make him do it. So he names the price, it makes him do it.
Now, when direct is over, there's only enough time for Rashad Murphy's attorney to do some cross.
These translations are a product of your own opinion as to what is being said, correct?
Yes, sir. I interpreted it myself, but if I don't know the meaning of one of the words that they use, I will ask for help. Yes, sir.
So you're asking someone else to interpret for you what you think something means?
No, sir. I would ask them like the meaning of a word, not what the whole section, not the whole lyrics mean.
Okay. And when you do this, you utilize posts that you've seen on social media, correct?
Yes, sir.
You use Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Whoever might be talking on Instagram anywhere about anything, correct?
Yes, sir.
Reddit, which is another social media platform where people talk about what's going on out on the street, right?
Yes, sir.
And you talk to people on the street
Yes,
who
sir.
tell you what they think it means too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you don't know what validity their information has for you. You're just going to take what they say, digest it, and decide whether or not you're going to utilize it in your interpretation, that information.
I would take what they say, and I would discover facts or evidence that goes with what they say before I use it.
And part of doing that would be to talk to other people to see whether they say what he says.
Correct.
Gonzalez then digs into the 6 murders that have been mentioned as the motive for this case, and he highlights that none of these defendants have been charged in those cases.
Town Center murder, that occurred in 2018, correct?
Yes, sir.
That murder is unsolved to this day, correct?
Yes, sir.
The Joe Rod Adams Spaz murder, August 24th, 2018, again, about 6 years from Mr. Jones's murder. Were you aware that that investigation indicated that Mr. Howard, who did that shooting, shot Spaz Adams over a girl, a problem with a girl?
I'm not aware of the investigation, the details behind it. I'm just aware of that Robert Howard was sentenced to 5 years for manslaughter for that charge.
Correct. In fact, you could be wrong about this incident actually having gang undertones as opposed to an argument between 2 people over a third person.
Yeah, but it's about the underlying factors of it. The one was 1200 and one was 6 block, and the war goes way before that date and time.
And with that, day 2 ends. When they pick up next week, Gonzalez will continue doing his cross-examination of
All right, guys,
Meter,
we'll be following
and then
this
the other
case
attorneys
more.
will get their
Shout out to Not
Child,
a
that was a
Lawyer,
lot of
but
information. Did
I'm
y'all follow
Christian
that?
Whitlow.
I will be
Thanks
talking
for
about this
watching.
case on my
Like
podcast
and
next
subscribe.
week. So if you want to
We'll
leave your
be
thoughts about how it's going, how the
reacting
defense
more to
attorneys are
this
going, or
case,
what
but
you think
these
about all of it, you
these
can do
boys
so
are
at
Kentucky fried fuck.
speakpipe.com/I'mNotALawyer.
So,
I
that's
think
just
my
what it
overall
is.
thought is
Thanks
all
for
these
watching.
kids dying
As
so
always,
early
catch you on the
is
next
so
one.
tragic.
Peace.
And you don't
And
even know
it's still
who
very tragic.
Damian
Pray for
Murphy
Foolio's
is that correct?
family.
Never seen him in my
Foolio lived a
Did he
crazy
say
life. Very
Damian
talented
Murphy?
guy.
Why can't this attorney get his client's
But yeah,
name right?
catch you guys on the next
I'm not
one.